Hello, my name's Helena Kaufman, and I'm your host for today's edition in the series of conversations on healthy living with founder of Moondust Cosmetics and cancer biologist. Let's get to it. Hello, Dr. Moondust. Today, I think you have a special summer treat for us to savor: why superfoods and superherbs can fight aging and cancer simultaneously.
Hi, Helena. That's right.
It's a hot topic. There's lots of interest on longevity. So, can you get us started today with your comments on the science involved in the process of aging?
Okay. Have you ever wondered why there's so much variation among adults of the same age, but not so much variation among kids of the same age?
Come to think of it, yes. What's the news?
Well, the good news is that aging is not all genetic, that healthy lifestyle plays a large role in it.
Well, that's wonderful to know because lifestyle, at least, is something we can control. So, we have some control over that, but what ages us?
Well, it's quite interesting because science has actually proven now that chronological age, your age in years, and your biological age are actually two different things. And there are a number of factors that affect this. For example, sickness and illness put stress on your body. And of course, degenerative diseases are the worst. And obesity and a diet with high fat content, um, dehydration, alcohol, hard drugs, childbirth, and lack of physical exercise all contribute to aging.
So, what can we do to slow down aging? Because all of us are impacted by something on that list.
Well, here are a few anti-aging tips. Eating a
Hmm.
Mediterranean diet, including superfoods in your daily diet, taking super herbs and herbal teas, and drinking matcha green tea, and taking resveratrol supplements. In fact, even our dog is on these.
That's funny. Okay, so some of those tips are familiar. We do hear about superfoods and super herbs. So I wonder, Dr. Moondust, if you can tell us what puts the super into these foods and herbs.
Well, Helena, superfoods are generally rich in amino acids, vitamins, minerals, and antioxidants. And this is because often foods like beans, nuts, seeds are little starter kits for life on Earth. And therefore, they have these energizing, anti aging, and anti cancer qualities. And in fact, I think these are going to become more and more important um, because they're these concentrated little nutrition packages as climate change intensifies and agricultural crops become more, not so predictable and stuff.
That's right, a little bit more compromised. I love the image of the little power pack concentrates that
Right.
you had described. Is there something similar with super herbs?
Well, superherbs are rich in phytochemicals, which are plant chemicals with antioxidant properties. And antioxidants help to eliminate free radicals from the body, which are involved in aging and can trigger cancer.
Mhm, mhm. So now I'm wondering what is the difference between chronological age and biological age?
Okay, so chronological age is your age in years, whereas biological age is more of a description of your functional status. So if you tend to function well compared
Mhm.
to your contemporaries, you can be thought of as being biologically younger. But if you perform sort of worse than your contemporaries, then you would be considered biologically older.
Mhm. That's back to your first point when we started speaking about adults aging differently. That's so
Mhm.
fascinating. So, Dr. Mundas, can we actually measure a person's biological age?
Yes, Helena, there are a number of ways one can do that. They're called biomarkers. So, for example, there are certain physiological markers like a decrease in muscle mass, changes in skeletal and bone formation, a
Mhm.
decline in brain cells and cognitive functions like memory impairment, and then changes in the lungs that lead to a decline in respiratory function. And then there are also some biological markers that are indicators of successful aging. For example, a lack of cardiovascular disease, a lipid profile that's consistent with an absence of hypertension, metabolic syndrome, which includes diabetes and lack of cardiovascular disease, and also a strong immune function.
Mhm. There's that immune function we always hear about. So many excellent markers of health and of things that are going well while we're consuming superfoods and spicing our foods. So that's quite a list you've given us. And you also had mentioned about the free radical scavenging ability of antioxidants. So the antioxidants in superfoods and super herbs, where do these fit in with aging?
Okay, so there are several theories of aging, and many of them involve organelles called mitochondria,
Mhm.
which are like the powerhouses of the cell. And they produce the basic energy unit of the body called ATP. And during the production of ATP, free radicals are generated in this process. And they have been linked to aging in many tissues, including the skin.
Mhm. I love that mitochondria and those organelles. You had pointed them out in a conversation way back, and I took a look at them, and they're so lovely and pretty and purple. They're really quite lovely. So, the antioxidants in superfoods and super herbs help to eliminate these free radicals that cause aging. Is that what happens?
Yes, that's right.
So, then how does all this now relate to cancer?
Okay, so the mitochondria are an internal source of free radicals and what's called oxidative stress. And then there are external sources too of oxidative stress, like carcinogens,
Hmm.
things like ultraviolet radiation, ionizing radiation, environmental pollutants and chemicals, radioactive elements. And these generate free radicals in the body, which can cause cell death. And according to the cancer theory I'm a proponent of, cell death or apoptosis is a key trigger for cancer or carcinogenesis. And antioxidants help to limit the levels of free radicals in the body. Therefore, they're beneficial in both fighting against aging and cancer.
That is a treasure trove of information. Thank you for making all of those connections from what's on our plate right through to the apoptosis and the cancer connection. So I'm wondering if was some of these things might perhaps be new to our viewers, and some of them are familiar but need repetition so that we can really fix them into our lifestyles. I wonder if we can, before we conclude, get a recap from you on some of the most essential points from
Sure.
today's discussion.
So, aging and cancer share certain commonalities. Um, Cellular oxidative stress caused by free radicals is involved in aging, and it also triggers cell death,
Hmm.
which is then linked to cancer. So, superfoods and superherbs contain concentrated levels of antioxidants, which help to eliminate these free radicals from the body.
So very interesting. Thank you, Dr. Moondust, for providing this new perspective on aging and how we can live well as we do it. Because there's no stopping it, but we can at least slow it down with some of the information and the tips you've given us. So, for more tips on health and lifestyle, and researchable and entirely readable, I would say, posts on the science of sun care, visit our website or join us on social. Until next time, see you again and take good care out in the sun.